Good evening, and welcome to another scene in Odessa the Dark Crusade, but this scene is not set in Odessa. It is in, well, not Tarsus either, but another city. Another city that Madeline needs to visit. Well, needs to. Is visiting. Breda, or, well, a city that houses an old, well, known figure from Odessa, but also, well, someone who gets around, but apparently or hopefully will be here for a meeting. Madeline enters, her two companions with her, her two ghouls. Oh, they're used to the traveling, what it entails. And yeah, the three of them will enter the city. If they're stopped at the gate, they will of course do as the local, well, people will direct them to. If not, they will go to the place that they have been instructed to go once in the city.
Yes, it is not entirely clear where the boundaries to Bira lie, as it is a fairly humble domain. Although you can see that new construction and expansion efforts are underway um, to increase the size of the domain and to make it a more appealing and industrious place to live. This is more like a large town than anything else, less so a city. The city slash town itself is unwalled, but it's around the size of what you'd expect Timurin to be.
Yeah, Madeline will go to the area where the prince is located, or well, where she has been instructed to meet.
You know where to meet the prince, as it was the ever-loving Prince Clematis, who informed you and helped in arranging this particular set of meetings. She has instructed you, upon arrival in Bira, to head immediately to the estate, about a couple miles out from the town, probably a noble's manor, as it were. It is very much gated off, and you can see roaming guards, but one of them stands at the gate itself, simply waiting for simply waiting, very much acting as the sentinel, as it were.
Madeline will ride up, greet him, and wish him a very good night, and she will just say, I am to, well, meet the mistress of the house.
Name,
I am
please.
expected. Madeleine.
Madeleine.
Sister Madeleine. I have just arrived from Tarse.
He pulls out a sheet of paper, reads it, begins running his finger down it, and then stops about 2/3 of the way down. Ah, yes, you are, as you say, expected this evening, my lady. May I escort you to the mistress of the house, then?
Thank you very much. She will follow him.
You are led into the noble estate. The grounds are quite spacious. You expect that everything outside of his grounds are also owned by whoever owns this particular estate. A significant amount of acreage here. Once you enter, you enter into the main foyer. Um, there is. See if I have a picture for it. If I don't, that's fine. It's a. Let's see. Um, it's a large, grand-looking foyer with stairs kind of off to the side of each room that go up and then kind of curve round to meet each other. Up these stairs are a set of doors in the center of this sort of this balcony. There is a door to the left where the stairs end on the left side of the room, and a door that mirrors it on the right side. On the ground floor, there is a small set of doors off to the right, about halfway into the room, and also ones immediately below the two large center doors on the upper part of the room. So basically, directly beneath the sort of balcony itself. And the guard will lead you around up the stairs, through the doors on the left, which leads you into another stairwell, which you take up to the second floor. You then head out a series of doors directly in front of you, taking back into the center part of the building. You head through those, and about halfway down there is a door, another door, and the guard will simply stop. He will stand by the door, and he will say, "My lady, this is where the prince is currently situated. Would you prefer that I announce you, or would you prefer to make your own entry?"
Well, I would not wish to take up any more of your time. Please.
"Then I shall return to my post. Have a pleasant evening, my lady."
Thank you very much. And the same to you. Madeline will just make sure that she's ready and will open the door. And yeah, she will. She'll just if the prince is clearly, like, if it's clear where the prince is, she will bow very, very deeply.
Yes, when you enter the room, there are two figures, one of which you recognize. You basically enter a small lounge lit by well-placed torches and a rather ornate-looking chandelier. The main point of focus for the room is actually its center, where there are two soft cushioned chairs and a sofa. With a table that kind of serves as the sort of center of this little arrangement of chairs and the sofa. Sitting on one of the chairs is the figure you recognise, the former primogen of Clan Toreador. The other is a rather alluring, well-dressed woman of middling size that you do not recognise, but she appears to to also be looking at you. She has fine golden hair, bright blue eyes, and a rather sparkling golden dress. The two figures in question. I wouldn't say blue eyes, hazel eyes, my bad. She's also wearing the necklace shown in the overlay.
Good evening, my prince. It is so good to see you once again.
Both the prince and the figure stand up from their chair. And the prince steeples her hands in a rather bouncing fashion. She says, Madeleine, it is so good to see you again. It has been many months since our last encounter. It was at Giles' gallery exhibit, if I recall.
Oh, yes, that. And she just holds a pause. That quite eventful time. Yes. I don't believe anyone in this city forgets anytime soon.
Oh, I certainly hope not. It was an absolutely marvelous event. One that did me proud. So much on display. I didn't actually know that Master Giles himself had access to such fine works. He had done a better job of mentoring his apprentices than I had considered.
Oh, well. There are quite a few things that Clan Toreador can rightfully claim that they are the masters of.
If I may ask, have you happened to run into the new Primogen since that event? I was just curious if she appreciated my gift.
Honestly, there was a bit of a reaction, but I must say that I have been so frightfully busy ever since.
Oh, sorry, what did she say? Last half of that sentence.
She said that she has been so frightfully busy. I must say that quite a few things have crossed my mind. Very low on that list is Margot herself.
Yes, I can imagine. I have heard much from the domain of Odessa in recent months. It appears to be quite the eventful location, but this is to be expected from the capital of a region.
Quite so. But I apologize. I assume this must be your seneschal?
Yes, please, if you'd like to introduce yourself, Camilla. I should just say, of course, I am Lady Camilla, seneschal to our right and honourable prince here, and I'm Ancilla of Clan Ventry.
Ah, I see. Well, a very good pleasure to meet you.
I would not have been able to navigate the serpentine administration of Vera without the good lady's help right here, and it has not gone unappreciated, as I'm sure you can tell.
I have the feeling that you make a very, very good and, for some, very dangerous combination. A good thing.
Roll me perception empathy. She's gonna contest.
Damn it.
Never mind. She got a really good roll.
I actually do have 4 successes, but yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have specialty, so she just has 5. Or her specialty doesn't apply.
Actually, well, she is defender. I actually do have a specialty, so I also have 5. But
yeah, even if you applied your specialty here, she's still the defender, so she wins.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. She simply says, well, I certainly hope I'd never have to act in the capacity of being quite so dangerous, but as you say,
Well,
I hear you are looking to meet my coterie mate.
oh, is that so? Well, yes, broker. That is the only name I have been told of this. Man or woman, I am not certain, since the name does not disclose such.
Well, have no fear, I'm sure my coterie mate would consider such a statement quite complimentary, really.
Oh? Yes. Oh, my anticipation of this meeting grows.
Well, I hear it was based in matters of personal business. If I may ask, you were looking to
Well,
locate a member of one of the more spurious clans of our kind.
well, personal business. Personal business. I have certain queries, wonders about the city's, well, Edessa's past that I must rule out,
Of
given the
course.
current situation. This means delving into its past, and delving into its past means, well, following up on what do we call them? Long shots. Something that may be a waste of time, but alas, I will have to seek them out.
Of course, and I would not expect you to answer any queries I might have. I'm simply ascertaining the nature of your business. But yes, of course, your hospitality and recognition within the domain will be conditional upon the word of my prince, but you two seem quite familiar with each other, and I'm quite glad that I had the opportunity to meet you. If you
Likewise.
have any queries or further business you need conducted within Dira, please feel free to contact me again, and
Quite so. I will.
I'll see what we can arrange. Who knows? Maybe your investigations bring you back here.
Perhaps. Oh, I do not know. Do you have any correspondence with any of your clan in the city? I could bring word with me. Simple greeting or something to that effect.
Oh yes, please. If you would be so kind, I would only wish to give my congratulations to Edessa's new primogen and sheriff.
There is a smile on Madeline's face as she says, mm-hmm.
In addition to the prince, of course.
She just looks at her and just says, of course, Gerard, our sheriff, and the prince will be informed. I will carry with me your best wishes.
Have my thanks. The prince just speaks up a little bit. And yes, Madeleine, you need not worry about being formally recognized within my domain. You are more than welcome to be here and to travel through as you please, so long as you, of course, notify me first. I have endeavoured to learn from the trials of Edessa to the best of my ability. I hope this, of course, does not prove too limiting in any of your voyages through this domain.
Of course not.
But it is something I would like to keep note of. As I'm sure you can see, Bearer is a much smaller in size and pales in significance to Edessa. And as such, we must be somewhat more scrupulous with who comes and goes.
Well, from what I can see, you are trying to improve upon your city standing. Quite a bit of new construction. I congratulate you on this.
But the people are to thank for such a thing. Even if we are to be involved, we merely guide them towards their greater destination.
Very gracious of you.
But yes.
Would information as to my whereabouts or where I go would it be acceptable for me to deliver it by one of my servants?
Of course. As I'm sure you're aware, I have many servants within this estate. If you would wish for them, if you wish to voyage through this domain or contact me, you need merely send a message to this estate, and have no doubt it shall reach my ears.
Very well.
Is there anything else outside of your business here, of course?
Well, not that I can think of. Not at the moment. If there is anything else, I will, of course, inform you.
I'm ever so grateful. And the seneschal will take center stage again. She says, I believe it shall be my... Oh, she was going to say, I believe. She'll say, as for your business here, being a coterie mate to who you wish to contact, the details of where they are situated have been granted to me out of the necessitation of this business. It is some ways out, but we have transportation ready for you in the back courtyard. If you would like to simply accompany me there, we may be on our way. I do not wish to... I cannot divulge the location at this current time, as I'm sure you're aware, the priors are quite concerned about the knowledge of where they locate themselves.
That is understandable. Would it be me alone, or would my servants come with me?
Your servants are permitted to come with you, but they will not be permitted knowledge of the location at the request of broker themselves.
Very well.
Very well then. Please accompany me and have a magnificent evening, my prince.
Rosalie, my prince, I wish you the very best, and hopefully I can see you once more before I leave.
Likewise, Lady Madeline. Have a nice evening. And
And
yes.
Madeline will follow her out.
Yes. Feel free to self-narrate for a few minutes after. Just briefly, BRB.
Madeline is, well, she'll be escorted through the doors and rooms and stairs. Eventually, she will find her two ghouls, and they will follow her. She'll just smile at them, just make certain that they know that they're about to follow her. They follow her, and she will follow, she'll, for a moment, she just considers this person, this Ventru. There's part of Madeline that is always suspicious, but kind of just watches her with a just middling disgust. Just a Ventru is just she's pampered. Madeline would try to find out, because she just gets that feeling that this person has never really, truly been tested, but she's not about to do that to a seneschal. That, yeah, that would be bad. And besides, this person would not be willing to accept it. So she simply makes herself ready for this transport. Intermission!
I'm back. Yes, so Madeleine, you are escorted to the back courtyard. At its back, again, the back courtyard is still lovely and green, but there's obviously a trail for various heavy horse-based transportation. And there is a substantially sized wagon with various containers on it. As the seneschal approaches, she opens the largest one, and inside it is soft and comfortable and fluffy, having cushions pinned to it and the like. And she says, "My apologies, but as I said, priors are their secrets."
I understand. I will make myself as comfortable as I can.
Of course.
Madeline just gets in.
You get in. You wait about a minute. Someone, you can hear very rapid footsteps as someone passes the wagon. And you hear the seneschal speak. You are late. Please ensure that this cargo reaches this destination securely. She seems to point to something on a piece of paper. Do not lose this. Do not give it to anyone. What shall be your head? Understand? The person who says, yes, my lady, seems very scared and quite youthful. Very early 20s, very late teens, 18 to 21, basically.
Madeline just makes a mental check that she was very, very, very on the money when she said that this woman could be dangerous. Just thinking, yeah. That is event true. Yeah.
As you hear someone get up on the carriage and take the reins, you will hear a substantial pat on the on your container, your large cuboid crate, as it were, your fluffy cuboid crate on the inside. And you hear the seneschal say, "Please have a pleasant journey, Madeleine, and again, if you have any business you'd wish to discuss at a later date, please don't hesitate to contact me."
Yeah, I probably won't be able to. Well, she will just say, until we meet
Okay.
again. Yeah, until we meet again, or something from inside the box. But yeah.
Another. Excellent. Good evening. And with that, the wagon takes off rather abruptly as it begins riding off into the night. You're not really sure where. You know that you turn several times. Hard to keep a sense of direction. But eventually, after about... I'll roll a d3. Oh, whoops. I rolled 3d10s. After about 30 minutes, the wagon stops. And you hear the person riding you get off. They walk around to the back of the wagon. The voice will say, the rest of the journey will be on foot, but please do not exit the container yet. We'll be at the destination very shortly. And you will be dragged, or your container will be dragged off the wagon and will be pulled down. You hear something as you're pulled off and you began to be carried. You hear a something metallic being moved. It sounds a little bit rusted. And you'll walk down for about only about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, before being settled down. There is a knock on what appears to be wood. But you can hear kind of metal banging against it. You presume it's like a wooden door, but kind of I wouldn't say reinforced with metal, but kind of bolted together with metal. Kind of kept together, you know, a metal frame or an overlay. And the door opens. You are brought in. The container is urine is put down, and then the container is opened by this rather gruesome looking figure.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes. A pleasure to meet you, Miss Madeleine.
Quite so. She gets up, shakes his hand.
He will pull you up. Sorry for the rough journey, but, well, if my coterie mate has learned my words, priors and their secrets.
And, well, I understand quite a bit of your necessity for secrecy. It is quite all right. There is nothing to apologize for or anything. Believe me, I have traveled much less comfortable.
To describe the room you're in, it appears to be something of an underground bar. Think of imagine the Ragged Flagon from Skyrim, kind of like that. The bar exists in something of an alcove, Um,
Are there any other people here?
no, it's just him. There are a few chairs set up against the bar, and the bar itself exists kind of, I guess I said, against the wall inside an alcove. Can actually hear and see running water. But it's kind of grated off. Smell isn't pleasant. It is quite damp in here. Behind the bar are a series of heavily sealed cabinets, borderline airtight. In fact, probably airtight. And probably not airtight, to be fair, but almost. And a fairly spacious area in front of you with several tables. And a chandelier haphazardly hanging from the ceiling. The only real light outside of about 4 torches in each corner of a room. So it's very dim in here. Yeah, as you're kind of engaged in in these introductions with Broker, you see a youthful native with a balaclava on, bringing in the containers that possess your servants. And he's carrying them with a great deal of ease. Like he's carrying 2 with one hand. Oh, sorry, he's carrying 1 with one hand. So he's carrying 2. And yeah, upon putting them in, he leaves immediately. And he just says, "I'll be waiting outside." Yes, yes. We understand. Why off with you?
Quite the place.
Oh, I hope you like it.
If I had more time, I would not mind spending a couple of nights here, but I'm assuming it is for your coterie or your kind or yourself only.
It is well, I suppose you could say it's a place where my kind come to calm down after a long night's work.
Very well.
Something of a project of mine. Also got a garden in the works, but we're quite a bit of ways off that. Yes.
Oh, a garden?
Oh yes. We've been theorizing how to make an underground garden. Obviously, we're already allergic to sunlight, but at least that is something that we can ignore. Of course, plant life, not so much.
The next 20 minutes will be Madeline either discussing or just talking about a garden downstairs. For some obvious and some less obvious reasons. But yeah.
Most of the answers to these questions involve no, not quite, no.
But she will be very happy to talk about that.
After about maybe 15 minutes of going along with the conversation, he says, "Well, I hope all your business wasn't revolving around an underground gardening project."
Oh no. Yes.
Take a seat. I have some spare supplies back here. Yes. He'll take out a small flask. You can smell the vitae inside. Yes. Supplies are a bit thin here. We don't exactly keep a reserve, as I'm sure you can imagine, but around on the house, If you'd be
Most
if you'd be
gracious.
so willing. Excellent. Yes, he'll pour you a mug of vitae. You can drink it. It doesn't taste that good. It's stale, but it's vitae, so it's still nourishing, and it still kind of gives you that buzz. Yeah, you feel free to gain a blood point. He'll take another drink. So I hear that you wish to locate a member of my clan, or several.
Quite so.
Hmm.
In Tarsus, there is a Toreador, the master of harpies now. He used to, well, used to have a coterie that he left with. Left the city of Edessa quite some time ago. They may know certain things of Edessa's past that I need to uncover to make certain of certain things for the safety of myself and other members of the city.
Ah, yes. Raphael. Noted gentleman. He's a good friend of mine. One of the more tolerant members of his clan regarding our kind. Truth be told, the prince probably sent you in my direction because she doesn't really know many Nosferatu outside myself. There are hardly any of us in Tarsus at all. If I recall, there are about 2 of us. Last time I paid a visit a few months ago.
Why, that is their loss.
Oh, quite so. If they learn to lean on us a bit more, that city will be running far more smoothly.
She gives a fairly genuine smile.
But yes, the prince I have dealt with in the past, and we have an equitable accord, so one of the more fortunate of our kind who has managed to work around many of the misconceptions, shall we say, that follow us. So I can only assume you're looking for the coterie of Nosferatu that Raphael followed out of Edessa all those years ago. I must be honest, it is before my time, so the information I'll be able to provide you is limited, but I should be able to provide you with something to work with, at the very least. I believe regarding the individuals you are looking for, what I have on them is, I wouldn't say out of date, but it is a few months old. Fairly recent, but give it a year or two and it would be risking an expiration date.
Interesting.
Of course. That depends entirely on what you wish to offer me in return.
It always does.
I hear you are quite invested in this investigation of yours.
Quite so.
I can understand, considering it concerns the safety of so many Canaanites within Edessa. It's only right that you be concerned and acting with the haste that you are. And I am sure that it has been entirely ignored or misconstrued by most of the Canaanites within the city.
Many concerns that should be taken serious end up with the same fate. Misconstrued by, well, most people. Perhaps there are things you require. I would offer you a boon for this.
Yes. I would, well, that goes without saying, I suppose, but what would you be willing to offer? Personally, the information I am releasing to you is quite sensitive and known to quite very few outside myself. While they are members of my own clan, they are quite, shall we say, isolated, and few travel as extensively as I do.
I have heard. Well, there must be things you require for your journeys. Must be some things that would help with secrecy, boxes, and all those other things. Many things I could assist with, I am sure.
Well then, given that you are seen to look for multiple individuals of my clan, gain locations as to otherwise highly obscure figures, I would request 5 minor boons in compensation. In exchange for in compensation for the information I'm about to relieve to yourself. I do not believe this is as much of an inconvenience to myself as to warrant anything regarding a major boon, but it is definitely valuable information in the right hands.
Quite so.
And grants one access to figures that, well, considering you are looking for them, have access to quite the treasure trove of secrets themselves.
Quite. But do keep in mind only the most ignorant would dare threaten anyone of Clan Nosferatu.
Oh, well, then I am very disappointed to say there are many ignorant people within the world.
Well, fools are everywhere, sadly. But threat not. I served with a very, very capable sheriff at one point. Ivan Zul, of your clan.
Ah, yes, I remember him. He passed through Bura very shortly, about a year or two ago.
Hmm.
On a journey of sorts. I believe he was heading back west, to where we are more entrenched as a clan.
I have heard the same things. If you see him, please give him my regards.
Of course, of course. I have not seen him since. I believe he was uh, returning to Europe for the long haul, so to speak. Particularly given his rise to or his
Out of character.
ascension within this area. I believe he is wishing to use that to make a claim within the West, so to speak.
He will do well. Out of character is 5 major boons. That's fairly steep, or is it?
He's asking for minor, not major. He actually ruled out a major boon.
Yeah,
He basically said,
is it like normal, or is it like that's somewhat within reality, right? I mean,
You would be expecting to pay minor boons. Actually, roll me politics. Roll me wit politics.
a botch means that you say, I think I should pay a major boon.
A botch is he's giving you such a you feel he's giving yeah he gives you he's giving you a bargain if you botch. Like it's the best deal that you could possibly ask for. Really, he should be asking for like a blood boon for this.
Mm.
Oh, do you actually have politics as a stat?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You have one success. You would be expecting to pay minor boons for this information.
But not this many, normally.
You only get one success, so I can't tell you how many you should be paying. But you're definitely expecting to be paying a quantity of minor boons.
Ah, okay.
I mean that degree, this offer is certainly like at its worst, at least logical or feasible, and at its best, a cheap and good deal. Or I wouldn't say cheap, but because that makes it sound like he's scamming himself. But he's giving you it's a generous offer at its best.
Quite valuable information indeed. I wonder, do you have anything already in mind for what would constitute satisfaction of these minor boons?
Well, I can tell you how you may pay off at least two of them.
She smiles. Go on.
Well, the first would be to simply be informed on the results of your investigation, the process, and shall we say, visual and written information on anything, items or people you may encounter that are not known to our society at large. For example, say, a clay tablet.
She raises an eyebrow.
Oh, I'm quite well informed. Remember that Nosferatu do exist within the domain of Odessa.
That such reporting on my findings, well, that would be quite the price for a minor boon, but me cataloging what I do. Not unreasonable, but steep.
As for the second, all I would ask is that you keep me up to date with it in regards to events within Odessa for the next year or so. Once the year has passed, you can consider the debt paid. It is effectively a year's worth of what would normally be trivial, the use of a trivial boon, but rather more sustained over the year, rather than for the week or the day. As such, the value of such activities are greater simply because there is more of it. Nothing more than information regarding the activities that you are witness to.
It is a shame that there are not more of you in my city. The hardest working part of our society. I agree to this.
Excellent, then. with these two services promised, that for the purposes of clarifying the boon to the populace, it shall be the 5 agreed upon, but 2 of them are in the process of being repaid, and I'll endeavour to make sure these dates are when they are repaid. Of course, I do not know when your investigation shall end, so that is largely up to what you find and how deep you decide to dig, which I can tell you as a Nosferatu will likely be quite far. But as for the other one with fixed date, I shall make sure to qualify that with the authorities of Bera and carry it through the network of harpies that run throughout this region, so that it reaches your domain and everybody is clear on what precisely is happening, so that good business may continue and no one reacts and says, "Oh no, she owes you 1 less boon," or "Oh no, she owes you 1 more boon." It's quite remarkable how often these misunderstandings occur, but
Yeah, it is truly a mystery how.
unreliable bookkeeping.
Quite. But this requires another thing.
Of course, the information of which you seek. As a bonus, I shall throw in what information they gave the clan as a whole, that I am aware of. As I'm sure that would be quite useful in your investigation.
Quite.
Now, the figures you are looking for are 3. One of which is an elder. Quite a prestigious member of our clan. Although, doesn't get out much nowadays. Not these nights. I'll look at their names for you. The youngest among the 3 was Holy Roman boy, known as Saturn. Was the grandchild of the one known as Malachite. I'm sure you've heard of him. The Rock of Constantinople. He had come to Odessa largely with the pretense of continuing to ensure that the ideals of the dream were maintained and upheld. You had you also had Basri, was the sire of Saturn. Was embraced in the East a few decades prior, within the Persian lands, bordering the Emperor of Byzantium. And like with Saturn, he had journeyed with his child to Edessa to serve as its primogen. Lasted for about a few decades before he fled. The other... And this is where things become a little bit more interesting. See, the other Nosferatu had been in Edessa long before the other two. In fact, to our knowledge, and as recorded by the clan, he was present at least a century before Edessa became a Crusader state. We believe he had been in the city for at least 300 to 400 years. Before any of us had ventured in. I'm not entirely sure as to the nature of his lineage, but you are aware that he is very much of the clan. And has bred quite a successful lineage in the east, from what I hear, but that is neither here nor there.
His name?
Yes. His name... His name is Daskia.
Daskia?
Or so he calls himself. Obviously, regarding Canaanites of such age, they rarely use their true names. Particularly our kind. You'll find that Nosferatu tend to give up our true names sooner than most. Needless to say, I hardly expect anyone to believe my name to actually be Broker.
It suits you.
And that, I believe, is all that matters in a name. He smiles. He smiles with his crooked teeth. And his blackened jawline. Sorry, his blackened gums. But yes. The locations. Last I heard, Saturn and Basri had returned to Constantinople after the fall. Horrible affair. Death of so many great minds. But they had returned under the new princedom to aid in its rebuilding and to protect the secrets of the dream that had been pillaged, not only by the Crusaders, but by he hesitates. Members of the lineage of Narses and the Canaanite heresy. You can roll me Canaanite. You can roll me La Sombra, Lore, and Narses.
That's 2 plus intelligence. Is it just lore or intelligence lore?
It's intelligence lore. You only have 2 dots of La Sombra lore, so I'll say difficulty 7 instead of 6. You do get the one success. I guess you've heard of Narses. Narses was an elder of the clan up until recently. Quite well esteemed within the clan, but also known to be an ardent enemy of the dream.
Hmm.
You haven't heard from him in some... Well, the clan hasn't heard from him in some time. Not for the past few years.
Hmm. And what of Daskia? Having lived in the desert so long, I wonder where he is.
That is a good question. And, unfortunately, you may find my answers somewhat satisfactory, as I do not have a hard location or domain for you. All I know is that after he left Edessa, he was seen heading far to the west, straight towards the ocean. I believe at the time, he told the clan he was headed towards Antioch. He may still be there. It is ruled by a powerful Ventru prince known as Epirus.
I have never been to Antioch.
It is a very, shall we say, strictly ordered domain. I'm surprised you have not heard of Epirus. Is the great-great-grandsire of Edessa's Ventru Primogen.
Now that is interesting.
Yes, he's ran the domain for quite some time now, for about... apologies. About 250 years. Give or take. It's been quite the journey, really. One of the most stable domains within Edessa. Certainly more stable than Edessa itself. Wouldn't surprise me if Epirus is considering on whether to overtake it as the next great domain within the region. After all, Ventru are quite ambitious.
Oh, that they are. Well, I thank you very much for this. I have many things to do. Is there anything you would ask of me? I wonder.
Nothing that I haven't already asked for. And that we have come to a most satisfactory agreement upon.
Perfect.
I'm very pleased that I was able to do business with you this evening. He outstretches his long, gnarled hand.
She shakes it. And the two concur business. And I'm assuming Madeline will be locked into the box again.
You're expected to get back in the box again, yeah.
She does this. Actually, no fuss at all. She does it.
You boy, get back in here. You literally hear him kind of halfway outside, screaming down the hallway for the hallway, place, corridor, sewer pipe.
Lovely place.
Lovely place. Calling out for the boy. He's
And
actually quite far down. You kind of hear him more in his echoes.
Mm.
Um,
right.
and then you'll find yourself being pulled out again, along with your servants. You'll be put back on the wagon,
Mm.
and then you'll be asked by the boy where you wish to go. Whether it is back to the manor, or whether you wish to be taken somewhere else within the domain, or another city within a 2 days ride, which would actually encompass Odessa.
I do believe that Madeline, for the moment, will return to Odessa, since travel to Antioch or Constantinople itself will be a journey she needs to take into consideration. Perhaps she can rule out some things, but that, I assume, we will find out in the next scene. Thank you very much, ST for STing, watchers for watching everything, and have a good night.